Same scenario, but this time the IRS tax lien was recorded a year before the trustee sale, and the trustee notified the IRS 25 days before the sale. Now, how much did you pay for it? Don't yell.
Same numbers, right?
Yeah. You almost said the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sing.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's out there. Just if you would have listened to what I said, you know the problem. Same price, but you have to wait 120 days because the IRS has 120 days to redeem this property, and they don't have the manpower of doing it. So is it going to go away?
No.
More likely.
Yes.
A little later.
From here. But the homeowner is still responsible. See? How many of you have never been to a trustee sale? Go to a trustee sale. That's your homework. Because how are you going to explain a trustee sale to your homeowner if you've never been there? Watch the mistakes that I do. And your name again?
Vanessa.
Vanessa, you've probably seen what happens at a trustee sale, right? I want to tell you what happens in some cases. Opening bid is $50,000. So you could sell the property for, let's say, $250,000. How much equity you have? $200,000, right? Good deal. You go to the trustee sale. You're the only one there. And you bid $50,000 and you buy the property. But little did you forget that there's a first for $200,000. Have you seen that mistake?
Sure. A lot of people.
No, they just don't look at the, they don't check out.
They make so many mistakes when they go to a trustee sale. Alrighty, I have 20 minutes, and then we're going to take a break. But first of all, I want to cover something.
Can you repeat, before you move forward, you had mentioned the 3 different scenarios.
3 different scenarios?
Yeah, that you had mentioned earlier. You said if the IRS tax lien was recorded.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If you give me your cards, I'll email you the...
All 3, okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because you collected cards, right? Now you got to give me cards. Okay, here we go. I got to tell you about the HAFA program. You have the HAFA there. There's some changes on the HAFA program. How many of you are aware of it? Okay. Remember, under the old HAFA, you had to exceed 31% monthly payment of your gross, right? Remember? Okay. Now they don't allow that. They did away with that. They did away with that. And remember, if your property was vacant, you wouldn't qualify for a HAFA. It could be vacant for 12 months and you qualify for a HAFA, or it could be rented for 12 months and you qualify for the HAFA. They changed that. Okay. Let's look at the HAFA process. And I'm going to fly through it because I'm assuming that all of you have read about the HAFA program. I'm assuming that all of you know the changes about the HAFA program, right? Okay. I'm going to go to the front page first. Anybody qualifies for the HAFA. But the way they do it here is if the borrower does not qualify for a HAMP program is a note modification. If they don't qualify for that, they qualify for the HAFA program. Or if the borrower does not successfully complete the HAMP trial period, if they don't do it, they still qualify for the HAFA. If they miss 2 payments on the HAMP modification, they still qualify for the HAFA. Now, the reason the government came out with the HAFA program is because when they foreclose on a piece of property, doesn't it bring the values down in that area? Vacant house equals vandalism, am I correct? Vandalism equals gangs, right? Gangs equals drugs, right? So the neighborhood goes down when you have vacant houses. So the way it used to work, you had to try for a HAMP program. Forget the HARP program, that didn't work. The HAMP program, and if you didn't qualify for the HAMP program, the next step would be foreclosure. Okay? So, Obama said, there's too many foreclosures out there, so we have to do something. And that's when they brought the HAFA program to help the homeowner close a short sale. Now, under the HAFA program, they say they will not foreclose on that piece of property as long as it's going through the HAFA program. Am I correct? That's what it said. Another thing is they will not cut your commission under a HAFA program. Am I correct? How many of you have done a HAFA program and they short sale and they cut your commission? Nobody here? I'm the first one? Okay. And they also agree, the first and the second, that comply with the HAFA policies, they will not go after the homeowner for the deficiency, right? That's what they say. Now, you have a duty to that seller to disclose the different ways of doing a short sale. Under the HAFA program, it's better for the homeowner. Am I correct? Isn't it true? Why? Because the lenders will not go after the homeowner for a deficiency. Plus, they give them $30,000. They give them money to relocate, right? Under the regular short sale program, they don't, right? But I'm going to tell you, I like to use the old way of doing a short sale when I can. It makes it harder for me now that everything is done in the computer. They have all those programs with different names that I don't even know what they mean. But when I do a short sale, I get letters from the both lenders that they agree not to pursue my homeowner for the deficiency. I also request $3,000 to $5,000 for relocation for my buyers, my sellers. Do they do it? Yes. But I know that I owe it to my sellers to let them know that the HAFA program is better, because automatically you get all those things, right? You should. But do you know the biggest problem in a HAFA program is your junior lien holder? Because the junior lien holder doesn't have to comply with the HAFA program. Let's say we owe the junior lien holder $150,000, and we're going to offer him $6,000. If you were the junior lien holder, what would you tell me?
No.
You would tell me no. Well, I'm going to tell you why I like the old way of doing it. Here's a first of $500,000. A second for $150,000. The property's only worth $400,000. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
The property's only worth $400,000. Okay. I'm going to ask something here, and I hope some of you know the answers. If the first forecloses, how much money do they lose?
Nothing.
The second?
Not that one. How much money do they lose? On a foreclosure?
All of it.
On their own loans.
No, this is anything at first.
Okay. If the first forecloses, they net $250,000. How do I know this? Bank of America, all these banks, I used to use about maybe 30%. They said, no, Joe, we lose about 50 to 60%. Okay? On a foreclosure. All right? Remember this. How much is the property worth? For commission and cost, can I use 10%? Say yes.
Yes.
So that's 40,000, right? So I deduct 40,000 from this. What do I have left? 360. Is that still better than this? I don't have to go to the first to offer the second something. Because I already know what the first is going to offer the second. Probably $1,000. Now don't forget, this is not the Hafa, okay? Under the Hafa, they'll offer him 6,000, right? Okay. So I go to the second, you're the second, and I say to you, at the close of escrow, we could get you $1,000. What would you tell me? Go jump in the lake, right? You would. Am I correct? You wouldn't give it to me. I already know that. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. Now I go to the first. And I ask the first, they will not settle for $1,000. Did you already try? Yes, I already tried. Well, Joe, we're not going to offer him any more. Have you heard that? Uh-huh. Well, wait a minute, first DD holder. Let's do something here. If we don't get, what do we need from the second? Say reconveyance.
Reconveyance.
Because if we don't get the reconveyance, what options does the first have? To foreclose, right? And if they foreclose, how much do they net? $250. I always tell them, let's offer them $5,000. That's too much. That's what they tell me. Well, let's find out if it's too much. 5,000 from here gives you what? 355. Is that still better than this? You know what lenders tell me? I don't look at it that way. This is the first time somebody comes out with the numbers. This is the way I negotiate. Now watch this. We got it up to 5,000. Now I got to go to the creditor. Now, this is not easy, alrighty? But I'm saying that because we don't have too much time here. Sometimes it took me 2 to 3 weeks to negotiate. Okay? But I will do it. Here it is. I go to the second TD holder, which is you. I say to you, I got good news. I got that $1,000 up to $5,000. How does that sound?
Great.
Great.
Who said great? Don't be easy. You're going to say, no good. Right? Watch what I say. And it does work. Have you heard the first one that speaks loses?
Yes.
It works. Watch this. Mr. Lender, you have two options here. 5,000 at the close of escrow or nothing. Be quiet. The first one that speaks loses. And guess what they're going to say? I'm not going to... Who spoke first? They did. I'm a winner. Watch this. I'm not going to take $5,000. As a matter of fact, two things could happen, which is dumb, which I've seen it happen. We're going to make up the payments on the first and foreclose on our second to protect our interest. What interest? Right? There's nothing there. Or, if we get wiped out, we're going to sue for the deficiency. How many of you have rentals? You have rentals? Have you ever put a judgment on a tenant? Have you collected money?
Hardly.
Huh?
Hardly.
No.
It's not worth it.
Mr. Lender, what are you going to get from somebody who doesn't have anything? Again, Mr. Second TD holder, you have two options here. 5,000 to close of escrow or nothing. Well, Joe will take it. They finally say that. If you don't believe me, try it. But you got to be a good negotiator. You have to be. Yes?
I have a question. You said if the house gets foreclosed on, the second gets $250.
No, the first gets too.
No, the first gets $250.
But not the second.
The second gets wiped out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here it is. this has always worked for me. When I get them to agree, oh, by the way, I tell the senior lien holder, I'm not going to give the second TD holder $5,000. No. Senior lien holder, you're not giving to them. You're buying the recon. Have you ever used that? You're buying the recon because without the recon, we can't close the short sale, right? So what do we need? The recon. Once we have the recon, we could continue with it. Am I correct? And the only way to get the recon from the second TD holder is for them to agree what we gave them. Am I correct? So there it is. This is the way I negotiate. And it does work. I like this better than the HAFA program. Don't get me wrong. I will do a HAFA program if I see it's going to work. Okay? On a HAFA program, isn't it true they have to have a hardship?
Yeah.
Hmm? Well, how are all these people going to qualify then? Because a lot of them are still working. They don't have a hardship. Am I correct?
Correct.
I mean, look at me. Don't take long to answer this question, okay? Because I'm going to feel bad. Am I old enough to make a decision?
Yes.
Okay. Some realtors look at me. Yes, I'm old enough to make a decision. If I want to buy a house with those dirty loans, remember those awful loans? If I want to buy a house, that's my decision, right? It is my decision. Well, I only make $40,000, but the lender's going to put that I make $240 for me to qualify, right? They don't check it anyway, right? Okay. My teaser payment is going to be pretty low, right? I'm good with that. 16 months later, they readjust the interest rate, and I can't afford it now. Do I have a hardship?
No.
Do I?
Yes.
I don't have a hardship. Because that was my choice. Right?
I'd still go hardship.
Well, wait a minute. Now I'm going to get to the seniors, and this gets me angry. There's a lender that got into the senior center in Whittier. Some of the seniors had a reverse mortgage. She told them it's better to refinance with one of these dirty loans. And they refinanced and paid their mortgage, their reverse mortgage, whatever they took out, and they put the balance in the bank. That's good. But what's going to happen in 16 months? Adjust, right? They live on a fixed income. Are they going to be able to afford the house?
No, of course not.
That got me angry. To this day, it still gets me angry because it happened to my wife's aunt. And the lender got away clean. If I see him, I'm going to shoot him. But there it is. Okay? How many of you heard in LA, it came out in the LA Times, where the senior, his loan adjusted, he opened the letter from the bank and he got a heart attack.
Yeah.
You heard about it. True story. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac says, oh, God, we better give him a hardship. Right? So now everybody has a hardship. Everybody qualifies for a short sale. Before, they were real hard on hardships. You really had to prove that you had a hardship. Well, I'm getting divorced. Well, do you have an attorney? No, not yet. I have lots of medical bills. I'm going to the hospital. Do you have any proof of the bills? No, not yet. You have to prove your... Now it's easy to prove your hardship. It's easy. And I like to deal this way on a short sale because I know what I'm going to ask from the lender. I'm going to ask for a letter from the first and the second that they agree not to pursue my homeowner for deficiency. Then I'm going to ask for money for my buyer to relocate, a seller to relocate. Does that sound like a HAFA program? Yeah. Yes, I have some lenders that refuse to give me a letter. I have some lenders that refuse to give me a letter. So I just change it to the HAFA. Very simple. How many of you learned something? Okay. What we're going to do right now, listen to me. What we're going to do right now We're going to take a 7-minute break.